Joining me now is Senator Elizabeth Warren, Democrat of Massachusetts. Senator, it's great to have you on. First, I want to just vibe check here and get your reaction to the announcement today.
Wow. I think it's fantastic. You know, the way I look at this is a test of leadership. We watched these two candidates, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. And this is the most consequential thing they do, really, as they launch their campaigns into this final run, and that is pick a running mate. And so Donald Trump says he wants to go with a venture capitalist who has almost no public service record at all and really has never had much experience governing. That's who he wants to be the last person to talk to him before he makes a decision. The guy whose main experience has been venture capital funding from billionaires in Silicon Valley. By contrast, Kamala Harris has said, the person I want for a partner, the one I want in my ear, the last person to talk to me, is somebody who has been a public school teacher, somebody who has a 24-year military career, but someone who has spent his entire life in service. Someone who, as governor of Minnesota, has gotten so much done. They're the right fights from the heart. So much done for hungry kids so they can have lunch and go and learn, for women to be able to make their own decisions about abortion and IVF. That's the kind of person she picks for the person who will be her ultimate partner in the work that gets done by the next administration. So I really see this as a moment. I'm delighted about Tim Walz, but I really see it as a moment that's one more measure of the difference between a Donald Trump and his presidency, as he would lay it out, and Kamala Harris and what she's telling us about the America she wants to be and the kind of president she wants to be.
I want to ask you a question about running for president, because I think there's probably no experience quite like it. I've never experienced it myself, but I covered a lot of it, and I've talked to a lot of folks while they've been doing it. It strikes me as a very bizarre undertaking for a lot of reasons. It's different than any other office you'll run for. I'm just curious what you think of Kamala Harris, who's someone who you campaigned alongside of when you were running in 2020, has had this campaign that no one could have really predicted or crafted, that hasn't ever existed in American history, what she's sort of taken on the last few weeks, and what you make of it so far, given that you understand a little bit about how difficult running for president is.
Yeah, you know, it's a really interesting question, and if I can, let me frame it out this way. You run for president, boy, it's like trying to cross an ocean with winds going in every direction, right? And you gotta stay on course for what it is. You gotta know why you're there and what it is you're fighting for. I've known Kamala Harris for 14 years now, and we got to know each other in a different kind of storm. We got to know each other in the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis. And following that crisis, I was trying to set up the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, go CFPB. Kamala was the new Attorney General for California. And both of us were working shoulder to shoulder, fighting back against these giant banks that had cheated people and now were busily trying to take away homes from as many of them as they possibly could. And so I got to know her really down in the trenches, and I got to watch her when there was a deal on the table that the attorneys general were going to go for all around the country, and not Kamala. She said, I'm holding out for something better for the people of California. I'm responsible for them. I'm going to stand up. She was under enormous pressure, and yet she was steely. She hung in there. She knew what she was doing, and she never got blown off course. I think of that, and I've worked with Kamala since then, both in her years as Attorney General, when she decided to run for the Senate, one of the first to get in there and endorse her because I thought she'd be terrific, work with her in the Senate, work with her as vice president. So I see this as, yes, who would have predicted what's unfolded in the last 3 weeks? It's just been amazing and astonishing. And yet, it is a part, at least as I see it, of she's doing what she always wanted to do. She's out there fighting for what she believes in. She's just being given a different set of tools. She's in a different forum. But there's the person who was the prosecutor, who was the AG, who was the senator, who was the VP, who's always fought for working people, who's always been there for the underdog, who's always had the courage to try to hold the most powerful people accountable. And that's what I see her doing again and again. Every time I listen to one of her speeches, I think, yeah, that's the same Kamala. And that's the person who is bringing us together, not just as a party, but as a nation, and showing us a vision of who we can be. Turn the page on the old guy. Let's go forward.
I'm recalling this from memory because I remember covering that proposed settlement between the banks on foreclosure. They were foreclosing on people's homes they didn't have the title to, often because they had completely lost the chain of custody of that title. Yep. If I'm not mistaken, I think there were two AGs who rejected the deal. It was Kamala Harris and the Attorney General of Delaware at the time, Beau Biden. Of course, the president's son, who later passed away, and I believe they worked together on that. Final question to you about the often the sort of delightfully small d Democratic disputatious coalition of the Democratic Party. It's got lots of different factions. It's got lots of different interests. I think that's part of a healthy democracy. We've only got two major parties and two major coalitions. There's going to be factional battles over all sorts of stuff. You know that very well. You've been involved with them in one way or the other. Do you see this pick of Tim Walz as having some factional significance? This is a pick for the left. This is a pick for the centrists. This signals something factionally to you.
Look, I think it's picking someone who will be a good partner for her. And I really do think that's how she looks at it. She's been a good partner to Joe Biden, and I think she wants more than anything else a good partner, an authentic partner, somebody who's not just gluing it on to be out here in public, but somebody who really from the heart feels it all and has the courage to get into tough fights and who is willing to do what needs to be done for the team. And always I want to underscore about Tim Walz, who delivered for the people of Minnesota when he had the skinniest possible majority, right? He had a one-vote majority in his legislature, and yet was able to talk across the aisle and get people together to produce for families in Minnesota. And I think that's, for me, that's the heart of understanding what this pick is. She looks, I think, I don't want to speak for her, but what I see is she can look over at Tim Walz and say, that's someone I can count on. That's someone the American people can count on. And so that's why she wants it.
All right, Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts, great thanks for stopping by on this big, big night. Really appreciate it.